Hi everybody, it's Honest John again. I don't know how many of you have heard of The Family. They hope you haven't. They are a group of right-wing politicians who live in a pretty fancy apartment building in Washington, which receives tax-exempt status because it somehow has a religious affiliation. Rachel Maddow did a series of reports on them a few years ago. Now, not everybody in the family lives in that building, but there is a core group that does. And they consider themselves to be super patriots and deeply religious. But despite their so-called religious attitudes and beliefs, many of them have been involved in messy sexual scandals, which they then have tried unsuccessfully to cover up. You might remember John Ensign, for one. I never cease to be amused by the fact that the more religious a man proclaims himself to be, the more likely it is that he's sticking his dick where it doesn't belong. They also received a black eye when it came to light that they were deeply involved in the Kill the Gays legislation in Uganda. And though they claim to be deeply patriotic Americans, the leaders they most admire are not Washington or Jefferson, but people like Pol Pot and Idi Amin. I can't really say for sure what they're up to right now. They are very secretive. But you take a look at what's going on around the country, and you can see that strengthening our democracy is not on the agenda of our right wing. In Florida, the GOP are trying to win the election by simply removing Democratic voters from the rolls. Even some Republicans of conscience have spoken up against this. Our Justice Department has told them to stop, but they're still going forward. Voter ID laws in many states are transparently aimed at voters likely to vote for the Democrats. In Texas, for example, their law says that you can vote with a hunting license, but not a student ID. In many states, during elections, many Democratic voters have received robocalls with misinformation in them, giving them the wrong address for their polling places, or telling them to come and vote the day after the election. And they've also passed laws making it extremely difficult to register new voters. And then there is Citizens United. Now, I'm not a lawyer, but I'll tell you something. Legal scholars have scratched their heads about that decision and other decisions related to it. The Citizens United decision simply overturned hundreds of years of law with an incredibly absurd formulation that corporations are citizens and entitled to all the rights that citizens have. And then, of course, there was that decision about how money and speech are the same thing. I'm not a lawyer, but even I can tell the difference. Here's the thing. So now you have these corporations that can make unlimited contributions to their political candidates through super PACs. And most of these corporations that are doing that are multinationals. That means that they have the same rights as citizens, but no particular loyalty to this country. Now, I know There are a lot of conspiracy theories in the U.S., ranging from 9/11 to the Kennedy assassination, on and on. But I don't think I'm being paranoid when I say that there may be another conspiracy at play. And this conspiracy is to end democracy. Thanks for listening.